Alright, well kids, Drake Liddell here. Welcome to my tutorials. This is part 4 where we're going to be doing drums. So, we're just going to get straight into it. First of all, I'm just going to choose a kick. So what basically we'll get onto pattern 8. And then I'm just going to choose my kick here. So basically you're holding your left click, drag it to the channel rack, let go and drop it in there, and then bring up your mixer, and we want to assign that one to insert 2. Right, so we're going to rename this to kick, and same here, kick. Right, first things first, what we want to do here is we want to turn that knob all the way to the right, so it's full, so the kick's fully in mono, straight down the middle, as usual. That's what we like to do. And then just going to pull the volume down to say about -6 or something on there, just for now anyway. Might need to knock it up a little bit or something at some point, but just as a starting point anyway. Right, so we've got the kick in there. We just need to right click, piano roll, or you can F7 or whatever to get on your piano roll shortcuts, stuff like that. But I'm just showing you the way. If you are beginners and learning, then you can click using the mouse, bringing menus and stuff like that, so it makes it a bit easier for you. Right, first of all, I want to put, right, so if I just bring the velocity up to, right, so kick drums go on the beat, so that's all you do. Draw your first 4 in there, that'll do. That's all we need. And right, now here's a little trick which some people might not know. I don't know, just all depends, but this is exactly what I do all the time. I open up LFO tool. I've got like a quick little preset there basically, which just turns it to that. You basically just clicking that there on, so you can get your, when I play the kick now, it's showing the kick right there. So what we want to do, we just need to make sure that it's not, there's the center, so your kick's playing there. We don't want it bleeding over the end here. So to do this, all you need to do is open that your envelope of your kick, right? So nah, just leave that like that. Right, so the envelope of your kick, which you click up here, and this is your attack, your hold, your decay, your release, your sustain, and that, right? So all we do is just pull back on that, pull back on your decay, pull back on your sustain, pull back on your release. And now this is the hold of the kick. So we're going to play this, and then you'll be able to see it on here on the LFO. And if you see, the more I pull it back, the more it's not bleeding into, yeah. So basically we want it about there, and then I usually put just a touch a little decay on it, and that's it. So there, that's perfect. So basically where your kick's playing there, and then this is where your bass will come in, this area here. So your kick, your bass, your kick, your offbeat bass, your onbeat kick, your offbeat bass, you know what I mean? So this is your area for where your bass comes in, and you want it clear. You want your kick clear of where your bass is going to come in. So there you go. There's a little tip for you all. Good thing to do. And then when you get onto your bass, obviously you do the same, but we'll get up to that anyway. So now all we need to do is just take that plugin off, because we don't need it. We've set that up. Now we just need to do a bit of EQ, which will open Pro Q filter free, pop filter free. And we just got. To be fair, like I've got a preset, yeah, which is used for this kicking anyway. Like so, I'm just gonna use a preset just to speed things up in the tutorial and that as well. Well, there as you can see, it says Drake kick, and then on here, my preset Drake Liddell kick. You know what I mean? So, and all this is doing is just all I've done really. I'm just gonna like explain is anyway. Is I've took the very sub end low end of the kick out, so I've cut that off there. I've boosted a little bit, and yeah. Yeah. Right. So that's fine anyway, the way it is. Now all I need to show you is why I've done this cut. Basically, I've cut out a resonance frequency, what is not needed, what's just there just to make the kick sound bad, really. So if I boost this up, you'll hear it's like a like a horrible woody sound type thing. So I'll boost this right up and then you'll hear it. Can you hear it? Sounds horrible. So when I bring that down, it's taking that away. And we're just cutting that out like that. Obviously sounds a hell of a lot better now. So that's what kick done. We're not, I mean, some people put compressors on kicks and stuff like that, but I really don't see the point. You don't need a compressor on a kick. Like, it's the same signal over and over. You know what I mean? You've you've done your bit of EQ and stuff like that. That's all you need to do. I don't even add my kick to a bus or anything. Literally, my kick is my kick, and that is it. Don't get us wrong. Some people do things different. People do different things, different ways, and that. Everyone's got their own little way of doing things. And you can't know everything in music production. There's not, it's endless. Like, nobody can know everything. There's people who've been doing it for 40 years or whatever, and they could all of a sudden come across someone like me and be like, oh, bloody hell, I didn't know that. You know what I mean? There's always something new. Everyone learns all the time. But this is, obviously, in my tutorials, I'm showing you exactly how I would do things. So, right, anyway, so that's what kick done. So we're just going to use this bit here. Tell you what I'll do. I'll just pull these down. I'm just literally showing you exactly what I'm doing anyway. So pull these down out the way. And we're just going to draw a kick in there for 16 bars. And we'll lock that to content. And there you go. Right, so next up, we've got the clap. So if we get a nice clap in there, I'll have a look in. I'll just use my sample packet. Right, we'll go with that one. So same again, drag that onto there. We're on pattern 9 now, as you can see, from the kick to pattern 9. So we'll just rename that right now, so we don't get confused on the patterns. Clap. Colour that same as drums, so all drums are purple. That's just what I do. So we'll bring the mixer up, we'll assign that one to number 3. Insert 3 and then call that clap. Right, so with this, simple, there's nothing much you need to really do with a clap, other than draw them in, a bit of EQ, maybe a bit of reverb or something, but in this case, this clap sounds like it's got a bit of reverb already processed in it, from when I made the pack. So, right, so basically your clap goes on beat, but on beat on every So like 1, 2, and then we'll just copy that, put it there. Right, so basically, there's your clap. And it sounds pretty decent to me. I mean, in my eyes, let's have a little listen here. Have a little look on here. I mean, that looks pretty good to me. So obviously I processed that anyway with a bit of EQ when I made it, so it's fine the way it is. I probably don't even need to put anything on it. Just bring it down, and all we're going to do is bring it to the very bottom, and then go on here. So we'll draw it in there, and then we'll lock that to content, and there's your clap. So all we're going to do is we're going to play that now, and we're going to bring it in the mix. Now my bloody headphones are going mad. I think I need a new pair of headphones by the looks of it. See, like the kick, I could maybe just do with boosting that up just another dB up to -5. As you can see, it's just under 9 there, around about 10 or something. It's just where I like to have it, just to try and keep everything like down a little bit. Like I don't like to be too loud in making the track. I mean, when I take the limit off at the end, obviously, which I mentioned in the first tutorial, that brings it right down anyway for mastering. But so that's it. We've got the clap, we've got the kick. Next is an open hi-hat. So we'll go to cymbals. We'll get our next pattern 10 up here. So open that's. Right, so I quite like the number 3 there, right? So we'll go with that one. We'll chuck that in there. We'll call this one open that. And that. Right, so, and then we'll put that on insert 4. Open that. The reason I like to label everything, colour everything and that, I'm a bit OCD. Not just that though, it just keeps everything in order, keeps everything nice and tidy and that, you know. You haven't got things everywhere all over and trying to look for things, and at least everything's in order. That is the main thing, and then in doing so, it makes things a lot easier for yourself, so you know where things are. Or if you're doing a collab with someone, they'll know where everything is. Everything's all in order. If you send someone a scatty, messy collab or something like that, I've had it before, where people have sent us stuff and I've just looked and I thought, I'm not working with that. Like, I don't even know where the hell what's what here. Like, so just a little reminder: keep your projects nice and tidy. Right. So we've got that all set up. Open hat. What we're going to do here is open piano roll again, and these go on the offbeat. So I'll just copy them, and don't ask us why, but I like to just do them in 4 bars. So just one of them things. Everyone has their own little ways. Lock the content. And that's it. We've got that in. So now what we're going to do, we're just going to listen to the sound by itself, see if it needs a bit of EQ or whatever, and that's it. To be fair, it sounds pretty good, but what I'm going to do, I'm just going to just as an extra, just so we know it's there, just so we definitely know there's no low end crappy bits getting through what we don't need. So we'll just put that there. and move that across to there. Sounds good to me. Right, so now what we're going to do, we're just going to pull the volume down, bring that in the mix. That sounds good to me. There's one little thing I've noticed there though. See, I'm not really used to doing things in headphones. I'm always doing it from my studio monitors, especially these studio monitors, because these are like unbelievable. The sound is amazing from them. Well, they want to be for the money I paid anyway. So basically, what was on about there? Yeah, so we've got the open hi-hat, we've got the clap in, we've got the kick in, and there's nothing else needed on them. No more slots or anything. Nothing needed. We're sounding pretty good there now. So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna get a nice in fact, you know what? I'll use a few loops instead of writing stuff out. It's gonna be a bit more time consuming if I start doing it. Like writing some closed hats out the way I do it and stuff like that. Yeah, well, I think. In fact, no. You know what? Stuff it. Howie, let's go. Let's do it. Some closed hats. Right, well, I quite like the sound of that one, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to open onto pattern 11 now and drop that in there, and then on our mixer we're going to take that one to insert 5. So we'll call this a closed hat. Closed hat. I don't want to make these videos like too long for everyone either, you know what I mean? But I am trying to just explain what I can, make it the best way possible for you. Exactly how I would do a tracking anyway. So, as I mentioned before, I usually am like, I would have probably had my drums nearly done by now, but I'm trying to be as slow as I can and explain as much as I can to you lot for tutorial purposes. Right, so closed hat. Right, so with this, all we need to do with this is, so we'll write in the first bar there, which will go and this is a little trick how to do with this. Pull that down. There, that'll do. And right, so we'll just copy that all that and save again. Right, so now this is going to sound like this because we've changed the velocity of the notes, so it's like a lower hitting note to a higher hit to a harder hitting note. It gives it a little bit of groove, you know what I mean? So it's not just the same like volume of the like hitting of the note every time, like just gives it a little bit of groove. Plus we're going to add a bit of side chain on it maybe as well. And right, so we need to go out of there, paste that in there, lock that one to content, and then same again with this one. What we're going to do is we're just going to use parameter EQ2 for this one, and we're just going to pull that down. So use your wheel on your mouse just to pull down the kill band a little bit, and we want some of the top end taken out as well. literally just that sound there. And if we put LFO tool on it, which is sidechain, and literally all you're doing with this, there's no fancy things what you need to do with it now. All I'm doing literally is I'm just pulling that there, so it's taking away the little clicks at the end of the. Oh, if I just play that. Yeah, that is it, and that sounds good to me. So we're going to bring that down and same again, bring that in the mix. Also, another thing what I'm going to do now here is I'm going to pull that. So if I hold shift, use the wheel on my mouse or whatever, and just bring that down one and for the side chain. So after the EQ, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a stereo shaper, which this, it basically takes, so from the closed hats being like just in the normal place, the normal width, it's widening it out stereo, like it's widening the stereo width out a little bit more, which you will hear. If you've got a good ear, you will hear this change and it'll go wider out. So it just makes a little bit more room in the middle and that as well. So right, we're going to do this now and you'll hear it. Oh, there, that'll do. And then that's it for them. So spot on. Right. So now we just need a nice drum loop in there to fill things out. Couple of, maybe a percussion loop or something like that, whatever. But I've got one of mine that I use quite a lot. So I'm just so literally with this, all you're not putting this in your channel rack or anything like that. Literally just dragging this in as a stem, so as an audio clip, dropping it in there, and there obviously it's in with your audio clips. So obviously you've got your automations up here, your audio clips, and then your piano roll playlist. Right, so we'll just drag them along, bring that up, and then we'll assign this one to, on the mixer, we'll assign this one to number 6, just there. And this will need a bit of EQ anyway. So what we'll do here is we'll just right click on there, so it's just going to play that by itself. And I always like to just turn this to about 20% mono merged, just a little bit. So what I do now is I get a parametric EQ2, and then usually what I'll do here is I'll do a high pass. So I'm right clicking to bring the menu up. The order type, I'll do like 4. So step 4, and then now I'm just going to take away the low end of the drum loop. You don't want to take too much of it away though. See about there. And then same with the high end as well. We're just going to just pull a little bit of way out on it, and that's it. We don't want to take too much of it away. Need a little bit of it. Right, so we're just gonna pull down on this, and so we'll right click on there, and then it'll bring everything back up, and then we're gonna pull this in with the mix. And that sounds pretty good to me, but I think we're gonna add another one in as well. So I want one with like kind of like a raidy type sound in it as well. So I'm sure I've used one in Steve Willow's sample pack. Positive is one, a nice one in here. Not that one. There's definitely one in here somewhere that I've used before. I don't know if I find fact it is. There, just something like that. So yeah, quite like that. So what we'll do, we'll drag that in and just that across. So we'll rename this one, the first one, drum loop, and we'll lock that one to the content as well, and then we'll call this one the same. We'll just call this one per loop. Should do the job. You don't need loads and loads and loads. It's just silly putting loads in. It just overpowers. It's like everything starts fighting over each other once you get too much in. You just need enough just to fill in what you need to fill in. And then so now we'll assign this one to insert 7, and then we'll rename this one as drum loop. It's the same on me percussion, me perk bus as well. I don't even do a lot on that either. You'll be surprised. Like some of the things are so simple in that. It's easier simplifying things other than just cramming loads of stuff in. Like there's just no need for it. There's literally no need for it at all. Like as long as you get most of your EQ, as long as everything's got a decent EQ in that, you're good, man. So right then, this one is perk loop. And so with this one, we'll just pull this. No, in fact, no, sorry. We'll select that one so it's just playing alone, and then we'll get a bit of EQ on that to make sure that one's right. It's probably all right in anyway, I reckon. Yeah, we'll still put that there just as a precaution to make sure. And it's sounding pretty all right, so right click on that, we'll bring it all. Now we'll bring the volume down and bring it in the mix. Now to me that sounds spot on. Like I said before, I'm not used to using the headphones, I'm used to using my speakers, so but it sounds alright to me in anyway. I need some better headphones to do stuff like this for, I would say, in anyway. Right, so basically we've got all them in. That's all them done. Now we just need to add some crashes in. That's my next thing. And I'm just going to use my old faithful, what I use quite a lot, which is in Audio Heads Sample Pack 2, Symbols, and it's called Mine or Mine Crash. So we'll bang that in there, literally drag that across as an audio clip. We'll rename that as Crash. There you go, Crash. So we've got a crash in there, and we'll assign that one to so we'll assign that one to 9 because I nearly forgot there actually. Right, so we'll call that one Crash. And right, so I should have done this first, like, but this bit I'm going to use a bus, which I've already got one set up, and all I've got on my bus is a Mag EQ4, which is set up like this. So basically, you set that to 5 and your airband to 40, and that is it. With a parametric EQ2, with a slight cut off down at the back, down on the highs, at 14,000, roughly 14, 15,000 or something. And that is it. Literally, that is all I put on there. And then, so we're going to select all them. So if you remember, hold shift and control, select all them, and bring the menu up, track routing, and then route selected to this track only, which is the bus. So now everything, all them, the clap, the hat, and everything is running through the bus. And maybe just pull that down a dB, and that's spot on. Sorry about the crash being a bit loud there. Right, so the crash, I only know because I use this crash a lot. So basically, the crash for this one, it's usually about roundabout in between 11 and 13 for volume. And I've even got an EQ set up for this as well. Parametric EQ2. So basically, I'm going to show you like how it's set up though. Anyway, so basically, all we're doing is a low end cutoff at about 1,773 hertz, roughly 1,000, in between 1,000 and 2,000 anyway. So after that, I've got like a tiny little a little cut, like bell cut there, at 7,000, and then that's like a little slope down at the end there. But I'm just gonna take this up to about 15. Yeah, that sounds right. That'll do. And literally that is it for the crash. And so now we want to add a reverse crash, which will go in with them. And so basically all you're doing here, right, is bring your channel rack back up, go to your crash there, and clone it, and then turn that, obviously that one onto your insert on your mixer to number 10. Click on your sampler, click reverse, put that in there, and Bob's your uncle, sorted. There's your reverse crash, so we'll rename that reverse. And there we go. So that's reverse crash, drums done. Simple but effective. And then obviously you for your reverse one, you don't want this like dead loud. This is just like behind in the background. It's not really something you want like full on out there as loud as your actual crash. So reverse crash. Right. So we're just going to do the same with that. The same little preset there. And that's it. Literally. Right, so thank you very much for watching. That is the drums and cymbals and that done. On to the next tutorial.